Hello students, welcome to English class of Standard 12. We were doing lesson 1.6 Into the Wild by Kiran Purandare, and today we'll be doing part 1 Lost in the Jungle. Into the Wild. As the name suggests, it is about the study of wildlife. Part 1 Lost in the Jungle. It is a true life experience of Kiran Purandare. 8.5 hour long day inside the hide was as fruitful as the jamba tree standing tall on the edge of Umbarzara. Now he is describing that 8.5 hours he had spent that day in the hide in the jungle of Umbarzara. When he started to wrap up, that is wind up his things and come back to the village of Pitezhari, he had taken all the notes of avifauna. Avifauna is birds of a particular region, habitat or geographical period. Study of that particular region birds. He says that he was all alone in the jungle, so he rushed to Pitezhari village. He had packed up his things. He had come out of his hiding place. He had to hide because he when he has to keep a watch on the birds, he has to keep himself hiding. Into the Wild. As the name suggests, it is about the study of wildlife. Part 1 Lost in the Jungle. This is a true life experience in the life of the author of Kiran Purandare. He says that one day it happened so that he had spent 8.5 hour long time in the jungle of Umbarzara. He had kept bird watching on that particular day, and he had took a lot of entries of the avifauna. Avifauna, that is the birds of that particular region. And he has, after he finished taking the notes, he had come out of the hiding place. He had covered it, camouflaged it, that is he had covered it as per the surroundings, and then he had to rush to the Pitezhari village where he was staying, as he was all alone there in the jungle. Author lifted his camera back and started to walk on the way to Pitezhari. Walking on the dried leaves was more difficult as it made a lot of sound, but he tried not to make much sound and walk cautiously. Walking alone, he says, in the jungle needs more alertness than walking with the companion, because if somebody is with us, we can be having more moral support. Now he says that he was just alone, just like a fox, and he was walking on the path silently. He has kept his eyes more open, and his ears were also grasping the sound of variety of animals around in the jungle, and he was also familiar to those sounds. But suddenly he was stunned to hear a particular sound like kyak kyak, chaos kyak, that was of the langur who was making a alarm call to other animals. The leader of the gang of the langurs was sitting on the tall tree making alarm calls out of fear of life. Means if they see some danger, they start making this alarm calls. And langurs means a type of monkey. So rest of the langurs brigade, that is rest of the group of langurs, also started making alarm calls, and that network of their calls was expanding all throughout as the langurs were all frightened, petrified, and this was increasing, this sound was increasing, and they were sitting on the tree tops. They went on the tree tops and they started to make this alarm calls. All this upheaval was created, means all this sound was created, violent sudden change was created. Upheaval means sudden change because of certain wild animals presence, and that animal presence was that of the cheetah. Many animals make alarm calls when they see a predator, that is when they see tigers and leopards who are a danger for these animals. So at that time such type of alarm calls are made. As per the author, the langurs are the most reliable ones when it comes to finding clues about the presence of the most apex predators, that is, the most topmost predators of the jungle, which are leopards and tigers. The mighty elusive leopard of Umbarzara was out of its lair, that is, out of its den, and so the monkeys were shouting, the langurs were shouting. He was in search of prey. He describes that the stealthily moving figure in spotted gold black coal was spied by the langurs, means that was detected, it was on a move, the leopard, and that was detected by the langurs, so they were shouting. And he says that even the smallest of the group of the legion, means of the group of langurs, were giving alarm calls like chak chak. The author stayed where he was. He was looking at the leader langur's target site, and there he scanned the area visually. He took certain steps ahead and there he stopped again. He was able to find there a scat, that is the waste of animal, certain wild animal, and the bluish purple flies were hovering, that is moving around it. He has sensed that it was a leopard somewhere nearby. He had also heard the alarm call of the four-headed antelope, which again added to the chaos, that is the frightening within the animals. Now barely he had walked certain 15 meters ahead and he stopped again. He had already entered, when he walked there, he had already entered Sanctum Sanctorum, that is the place where the leopard might be living. So he says that he has already entered into the den of the leopard. Unknowingly, the writer had already moved into the den of the leopard, but the big cat was not visible there. The surroundings were already reminding the author that he was all alone time and again, and he was moving forward on the path to Pitezhari. As he moved forward, the sounds behind him that he was able to hear were now fading, that is, the alarm calls were now fading, and his instinct was saying him that the leopard had moved away from that area. Meanwhile, the writer saw a man standing at a distance with a stick in his hand. As the writer approached the man, he appeared to be frightened. He appeared to be spooked due to the alarm calls of the leopard. Both the man and the writer greeted each other. The writer came to know that the man was Raju Iskape from Pitezhari. He had come there to collect the logs and he was moving back because of the leopard's movement. Now, Raju was quite surprised to hear that the writer used to come there regularly alone to visit Umbarzara forest, because the forest was a refuge for the tigers, leopards, and sloth bears. They stopped under the kusum tree. They took a break there and they felt relaxed. Now the writer and the companion of him was Raju. They both were. The writer is quite happy that now he has a companion, and he writes that now we were four eyes, four hands with a stick. They both resumed walking, that is, they moved walking on the trail. Then they came across the right diversion where the path had taken a right direction. Raju said that he will be moving on the right trail and asked the writer to move straight. The writer kept on walking straight. There he climbed a familiar hillock, that is a small hill, and he crossed the cement pillars and also the stones that were stacked, that is arranged or fixed by the Forest Development Corporation so that they can mark the boundary of the forest compartment. Then again the writer took another trail after climbing down. The writer walked across a beautiful maua tree which was loaded with reddish brown leaves. The ground under that tree was cleaned very well. So the thought instantly flashed into the mind of the writer whether he had lost his way. Immediately the next moment he found that there was another trail, dusky trail, that is another track. So he quickly took that track, and which that track took him to the narrow gorge. Gorge is a narrow gully between the hillocks, that is narrow gap between the hillocks, the small hills. The area that was surrounded by the hillocks was by deciduous tropical forest, and so he was moving ahead and he was having a doubt, so he turned back and had a look at the sun whether he was on a right track. The author, as he has lost his way, he was searching for directions and he was searching for the sun. But as it was the time of dusk, the sun had already vanished, so only the light of the sun was appearing. Good heavens, I was lost, says the author, completely lost in this jungle, that too at the dreadful time, that is the time when it is about to get dark. He was soaked in his own sweat, he was wet with his sweat, and he felt that he should shout to his heart's content, that is at the loudest he should shout so that somebody could hear him. But to his in this wilderness, that is in this wild area, no person is going to listen to his shout. The writer had two bags with him, the Shabnam bag, that is a long bag in which he used to carry his camera, and also a small bag that was a colorful handmade bag in which the villagers they carry the tiffin, and the tiffin had some food in him. So he says that the tiffin still had some stuff, but he did not feel like having that food. The things around the writer, that is the blossoming boxwood trees, the boop boop sound of the cockle bird, the song of the robin bird, all appeared alien to the writer. He was more confused and he was frightened also, and it was more than an hour that he was standing there still and searching for a suitable tree so that he can climb and he can make himself secured. His mind was continuously telling him that he should turn back and go to the same trail, that is the same track which he had left. But also he was unable to see that track. He was unable to see any signs of that trail, and he had no other option than to climb the hillock before him. So he was moving ahead of the hillock that was before him. As the writer had climbed the hillock, there were some more hillocks just beside the one on which he was standing. Near his feet he saw some dried droppings of the sloth bear, that is the waste of the sloth bear. The writer immediately sensed that the sloth bear might be around nearby, and he cautioned himself. He was having the thought of all the eventualities, that is all the dangers that can come on his way, but still he moved ahead. He ran down the hillock and again climbed up, and he moved ahead. He saw that the west was on his right hand side and the evening breeze was flowing through his wet curled hair. His stomach was also aching, but still he kept walking in the hope. After around 50 steps, the writer found a bright red soil trail. That was a silver lining for the writer. There were marks of bicycle wheel on the trail. So the writer had assured himself that there might be a village nearby. But there were further questions to him as to how far the village might be and where it is and in which direction. The writer climbed one more hillock and tried to locate the human civilization and the signs of it. His legs were trembling. As he reached the top of the hill, he jumped with joy because he heard the sounds of people talking in the loudspeaker. The writer was quite happy, and in a short time, that is in a jiffy, he ran down the hill towards the sound with great energy. The writer stumbled and fell down. He saw the droppings of the blue bulls nearby. He struggled, stood up, and decided to move in which direction he has to go. He saw the signs of civilization were visible. He also saw the tiny sleepy village of Pitezhari and from the green woods. He saw the lantern of Raji Bhalavi's farm and the loudspeaker that was installed for Keshav Bhalavi's marriage. All were in his clear sight. He turned left to spot the village lake and the familiar hillock Sui Hudaki. He also saw a dog who had barked to welcome him in the village. After reaching home, the first thing that the writer did was to take a bath. The shaking of the limbs had lessened now. The stomach ache had started again. He ate to full, and then, feeling heavy, on to the cot he went. Lying awake, looking at the star-studded sky, he spoke to himself and said that there still exists a jungle where we can get lost. Isn't this our good luck? Means he was feeling lucky that there are jungles where we can still get lost, which means that he is saying it in a sarcasm that in today's world where trees are being cut a lot, where there is no jungle, we still have a jungle which is so dense where we can get lost. Kiran Purandare, the author of this lesson, is settled in Pethari. He works for the well-being of the villagers of Pethari and the tribals. Here are some of the images of his work. So here we come to the end of the lesson. It was really a thrilling experience of Kiran Purandare, who was lost in the jungle. I hope you have liked the lesson. Thanks for watching. Meet you in the next video. Till then, goodbye. So friends, don't forget to subscribe the channel and share the video, and also to like the video. Thanks for watching.